In your experience, Kevin, so, okay, we're discussing as lawyers, as patent attorneys, interacting with relevant clients, businesses, startups. What about within the organization? Because you always, at least this has been my case all the time, IP is a luxury, it's not a necessity. It's relevant to multinational companies. I don't have a big business operation, and you don't even hear this in like far distant areas in, you know, somewhere that you barely travel to, or you're just developing like a small agri-tech company. This is the relevant case, I think, for each and every place, you know. And as I indicated yesterday, when I was coaching women-led businesses in UK, I was really shocked that they were like unaware of the IP importance for their business. They had no access to fund. They didn't know how to look for the fund. And they were so scared of developing their IP portfolio. And they had really good IP assets in place, but they didn't know how to use it effectively. So what is your experience on this? Because I think, again, we need to establish the IP culture. Individual interaction doesn't really help, or it takes longer time, right? So, and I know that in UK there are a lot of initiatives going on. I think Innovate UK is doing something. So what is your experience on this?
Okay, well, the UK government is really helpful when it comes to startups and getting companies that are very new to appreciate the IP that they have. So one thing that they offer is something called an IP audit, and they provide funding of £3,000. And so the £3,000 goes to the IP attorney, and the client is expected to pay £750, and the government pays the remainder. And then this means that I've done many of these for clients, and it's been really good, because I used to do it at this kind of thing in my corporate background, where you're doing an IP audit. You're basically asking a lot of questions. It's due diligence. So you have a list of questions, and you just go through the whole history, all the different types of IP that the business has, and the types of IP that they don't have. So you go through all the buckets of IP, the 5 or 6 buckets, and then you think, what do you have so far? What do you not have, and what could you file or protect? And then you do the same for other people's IP, third-party IP that the business is exposed to. Maybe they're using somebody else's software. They have to pay a license. Maybe they're using open source software. There's certain licenses that you need to look at there. Maybe they're using somebody's patent, and they have a license, and they're paying a license fee. So you go through all of the different third-party IP in all of those 5 or 6 buckets. And then you look at all the contracts of that the startup has gotten into in terms of shareholder agreements, maybe investment agreements, collaboration agreements with universities. You look at all of the IP terms there, and you see if they've done anything there that's not right, that needs to be adjusted, or maybe renegotiated, those contracts. And then you come up with a list of recommendations based on what you found there in this audit. That you have a list of recommendations. So it's an IP audit report that you create, and this is really helpful, because then it spurs on it shows the client that there's other things that they're missing, like maybe they need to file a patent and they haven't filed one yet. They need to protect their trademark in a country that they're going to now start selling into, that they weren't selling before. So yeah, IP audits have been very useful that UK government has offered.